Good afternoon or good evening or good morning, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome back to the West Ham Network, where today we are bringing you another Hammers headlines in association with the guys over at Knees Up Mother Brown, kumb.com. Make sure you get across there and go and check out their content. Fantastic content on their website and of course on their channel forum, where you get a chance to have a good chin wag with all your fellow West Ham fans. And there's loads of news coming out of West Ham left, right and centre. We're about to sign Emerson Palmieri from Chelsea, and this show is titled The Chelsea Raid. Is this what's about to happen? Are West Ham pursuing deal after deal for a lot of Chelsea players? And you have to stay tuned for this show to see what is going to happen whilst we go through it. So let's get on to the first topic of the conversation, and that is that we are definitely interested in Conor Gallagher. We've been interested in him for the full summer, and for me, we need to bring him into this club. He is one of the brightest players of his age in the Premier League, and he started the game for Chelsea at the weekend when they got beat 3-0 by Leeds United. And I think Thomas Tuchel has probably sought enough, and that's why he's in the market. He's strengthening his squad himself, and all that's going to do is knock these players further down on the list of priorities and game time and what they want. You know, with the Qatar World Cup literally around the corner, these players needs to be guaranteed game time. Now, Thomas Tuchel may not want to lose him permanently, and we all know we can't get certain deals if we're going to do loans with one domestic club. So it has to be one loan, and then the rest would have to be permanent. So I'm going to talk about the Chelsea raid today, but there's loads of clubs that are definitely keen on Conor Gallagher. No wonder, because he is a very, very bright spark in the midfield area. Newcastle were also a club that were recently linked to Gallagher, and Fabrizio Romano claimed last month that Aston Villa were looking at him as well. And he has his admirers at Chelsea. You know, he started the game on Sunday. It didn't work out well for him. And he did make a mistake in the 3-0 defeat, but that doesn't mean he is a bad player. Chelsea could well retain his services beyond the summer window, but if he's made available for a transfer, then West Ham could pounce. And we know that West Ham are looking for that person in the central of midfield. I know we're looking at Vanaken, but this is the guy I want. This is the guy I want. Young, fresh, English, and really can step up to the plate. We're waiting in the backgrounds. We're waiting to see what Chelsea are willing to do, to see if we can go into any form of negotiations to bring him in. He spent last season on loan at Crystal Palace, and he was a huge hit. And it seems as though he could be plying his trade in London, but maybe in a different part of London next season. And he really did light up the Premier League. He bagged 8 goals, 3 assists in 34 league games for Crystal Palace. He had, on average, 2.5 tackles per game, 1.7 dribbles per game, 1.3 passes per game in those appearances. He's got an incredible energy, drive, passion, determination, commitment to every single thing he does on that park. On top of all that, he's incredibly gifted from a technical perspective, and he would be an ideal accompaniment for Declan Rice and Tommy Souček. Now, I know Vanaken. I like Vanaken as well, but Vanaken is in theory on the wrong side of 30, and Conor Gallagher does have Premier League experience. So I think maybe this is what's taking the Vanaken deal so long, is because maybe West Ham are sniffing around, waiting to see what's happening here with Conor Gallagher. His form's undoubtedly tallied off due to the final few months of his loan deal with Crystal Palace, but there's no doubts about the quality and potential that he has got. And Chelsea may want £40 million for him as well. He's been on loan at West Bromwich Albion, and he is a deep line playmaker who featured regularly and returned 2 goals and 2 assists for West Brom. And I remember, particularly when we played West Brom a couple of seasons ago, he was phenomenal. He was their standout player by a million miles. So I wonder if we can get this one over the line. And for me, it is a bloody no-brainer. We push and get this guy over the line. They are going to ask over the odds in terms of finances, but we need to probably do it, because I think he really has. He's got that bite. He's got that determination to win the ball back, but he's got that creativity. He's got that tactically awareness of the park. He understands football, and he really would complement that midfield. It's a no-brainer. Let's go in and get him. And I think if we're going to get him, I think maybe Chelsea would want to protect their investment, so therefore it would only be a loan, and that would be one of the loan deals that West Ham potentially could negotiate to bring him in. And next up, though, is the man that we all heard about, Armando Broja. You know, Moyes is number one target from early on in the summer transfer window. He scored 9 goals in all competitions for Southampton last season, and he returned from Chelsea's US tour with a bit of an injury, understood not to be serious. But David Moyes, we know, is a massive, massive fan of the striker and placed him high on West Ham's transfer list, and he looks like he has got the potential to be a great player for the future. And he's such an impressive season, showing all the signs of a great striker already at a young age. He is a relentless player, though, and he's shown that more the game time that he played with Southampton last year. He's comfortable at dropping deep and offering an option during build-up play. He makes late runs to the centre of the park from where he can receive passes from deep on his own half and be a main focal point in teams of the build-up play. And he's 6 foot, you know, he's over 6 foot, so he's a decent height, he's strong, and he's lean, and he's got a lean build to go with that. And that allows him to be an effective target man for those instances. And I do think that he can be that player that can connect the midfield to the forward line as well. You may ask me, we've got Scamacca, we've got Antonio, how does Broja fit in? I think there's plenty of games to be played, and I think these players can all work together to challenge, and you never know, you could play one in a deep line role, one out wide and one up top, and then what a threat you've got going forward. So what do you think of Broja coming to the club? For me, personally, I think if we're going to get this guy over the line, this is going to be a permanent deal. I think we're going to have to offer a certain amount of money to get this deal over the line, because I don't think they're willing to commit to letting Conor Gallagher go yet, but I think they would be willing to let Broja go, because you know, Chelsea are in talks with Gordon from Everton and Aubameyang from Barcelona, former Arsenal striker. What does that do for Broja's chances? It doesn't help him at all, and he's going to want some game time as well. So I don't see that one, him staying at Chelsea, and it probably will be a permanent deal if he does leave the club. And I just wonder if Moyes will get his man eventually. And last but not least, we're just waiting literally for Emerson Palmieri to be announced as a West Ham player in due course. He's supposedly completed the second part of his medical. We're just waiting on the media team to announce it, and he's agreed personal terms with West Ham, and it will make him just under about 100k a week. It looks like it could be a 5-year deal for the Italian left back, who is extremely pacey. I did do a West Ham daily earlier on, talking to you everything about Emerson Palmieri and what he could bring to West Ham. So yeah, for me, good. Moyes wants him. I'm happy. That's what we'll do, and that's what we'll take. But I can see a lot more players coming in. And is that the Chelsea raid that we have been talking about? Are we investing in getting all these players in from Chelsea, adding them to our squad, and seeing if we can push ourselves further up that league? Have patience, West Ham fans. Have patience, because I think Moyes will connect that pieces of jigsaw, and we will progress moving forward. Anyway, like I said, if you are new around here or didn't say it, subscribe to the channel. We're on the march towards 20,000 subscribers. Hit those thumbs up. Please leave a juicy comment as well. We'll try our best to reply. There's several comments coming through, and it's tough getting the time to be able to do it. Again, of course, go and check out the guys over at kumb.com. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And of course, finally, come on, you Irons.